Hi there. I'm Rev, and welcome back to Tales from the Table Studios. We're here for Days of Tale 2. It's a charity weekend, and I'm pausing for a second here because I'm getting a little echo. We're raising money in support of NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And they support people all across the United States who are struggling with mental illness through education, support, advocacy, community programs. And we'd really love if you could help us out with a donation. At any time, anybody in the chat can type an exclamation point and donate, all as one word with an exclamation point in front, and it'll pull up the Tiltify link in the chat, and you can donate to NAMI. And so, hi, I'm Rev. I make games for Thought Punks and run games apparently on this channel sometimes, and play in them sometimes too. And you can find me on Twitter as Thought Punks. I'm just having a great time here. And let's introduce our wonderful cast. Today we're playing Eat Trash Do Crime, and we have a wonderful cast of sentient raccoons who are all delightful anarchists who are going to kick the man in a sensitive spot and improve the world. And so I'm just going to go in the order that's showing in my chat windows here. And Jack, tell us about yourself and your character.
Hello, I'm Jack. You can find me on Twitter at JAK_true, all lowercase. I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing the character of Bobby the raccoon. I'm Bobby, and unlike these other raccoons, I have an English accent. And Bobby is also a he, him. And yeah, let's have some fun. By the way, you can catch me on Ballad of the Seven Dice podcast. I'm in the Escaping Carcosa offline campaign, which is a Call of Cthulhu campaign. It's got visual novel style video versions, and you can listen to it anywhere. You can listen to podcasts and watch on YouTube and Twitch.
Awesome. And thank you, Jack. And now next up is Baba Yaga. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Hi, I am Baba Yaga. I use she, they pronouns, and you can find me on the Twitters at Shut Up Sarah. Right now, I am mostly working under NDAs, but I am looking to do more charity work like this. I am going to be playing Mascot the First, they, them pronouns, and Mascot is very old. That's why they're the first. And it is a Left Behind startup mascot. And that says a whole lot, I think, about who they are.
Awesome. Next up is Dell. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Hello, my name is Dell, or Digital Crow Dell, is what you can find me at on Twitter, Digital Crow_Dell. I don't know, I change it, I'm almost never there. However, today, for this wonderful event, I will be playing Dee Dee, or Dining with Detritus, which is kind of a play on Binging with Babish, a foodie blogger type raccoon who is the epitome of freegan and bargain deals for the best type of detritus you could make into the best kind of food.
And then last but not least, Liz, tell us about yourself and your character.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz. I use she, they pronouns, and I stream with Life in the Apocalypse. You can find me on Twitter at Iron Echo Games. You can find Life in the Apocalypse at Life in the Apocalypse on pretty much everything, or Life in the APOC. We also do like charity streaming pretty regularly. Biggest thing coming up, I'm in a bunch of stuff, but the one that's closest to my heart right now is we're doing a stream on Wednesday for Trans Day of Visibility Week called Transhumanism. It's going to be a very cathartic, very intense, but in a good way stream, kind of just with everyone working through some emotions, and for a really good specific to that stream charity to help out with current things going on. I'm playing Diego, who uses he, they pronouns. And Diego is all about the revolution and wants to convince all the other trash animals that we need to bring in a world where their needs and their wants and occasional property destruction done for fun is not considered crime. Because that's just an improper framing. And that's Diego.
Awesome. And so, as we open up, everybody's kind of hanging out around the mall. There's a small abandoned mall that our crew kind of gathers together at, and one of our crew members parks their food truck bus at. And so I'm going to, as part of Eat Trash Do Crime, I include some dice oracles where you can just make things up as you go along. You can ask it questions. And so I'm going to leave it to you guys. What kind of trouble do you want to ask questions about?
I think Mascot would be very interested in how to get the best food for the food truck, for the food bus. Because that's like the greatest good with the smallest footprint. Because a whole bunch of animals can get fed from that their bus. But so that would be something that would be constantly on Mascot's mind. It's like, where can I get more food? What can I trade to get more food over to Dee Dee so that we can find some new masterpiece, weird nitro fusion, whatever.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to ask the dice. Is there any for the flavor, which is sort of like an extra aspect or detail, I'm going to ask about the weirdness of it. And I'm going to ask, are there any problems with collecting or finding food lately? And so I make a little roll, and the dice say yes, very strongly so. There's really bad problems with collecting food lately, but it is the exact opposite of weird. I rolled a 1 on the weird, so it's super mundane. So what would be a super mundane thing? I think, the town has started a campaign. To control the rats. They've started having the grocery stores padlock their dumpsters.
The horror.
That's just rude. Rude.
Unacceptable.
Okay, so we need to go and smash all the padlocks in town.
I mean, it
Definitely
sounds like a
sounds like
good
the right
use
thing to
for a
do.
properly placed explosive, is all I'm saying.
yeah, explosives work. That'd be just fine. But yeah, no, that's so we have to stop that. It's either explode get rid of the padlocks or fill their buildings with rats to prove that even if you do padlock things and you try to control the wild animals, they will still find a way in. That's just my thought. I instantly went to 100.
So a few of you do have animal skills. So I would say that some of your little animal friends have complained that there's not been a lot of food lately. They're putting big metal things that through holes in the dumpster and they can't get in.
I could sick my wasps on them. I have wasps.
Humans hate wasps from everything that I've found out about them.
Right?
Yeah, so are there any humans around here to terrorize in order to
where you're specifically at, it's fairly abandoned, but if you're talking about at the grocery stores, they're open. I'm sure that there's plenty of humans to terrorize.
Quick time out. Was torture and kidnapping on a red spray? I don't. Just kidding. Let's not do that.
I like how I started with explosives,
teenagers.
and you somehow managed to escalate past explosives.
So that's where we started.
Okay,
that
we're
was
in the
bar.
first 5 minutes of the game, and we've already started at explosives, and then let's escalate. I don't know where we're going to go from here.
Hey, is there a nuclear base nearby that we could take over and hold hostage until they take the padlocks off? That's
okay. So the dice say that there is no army base, but yes, there is a nuclear power plant.
Well, that's just silly.
That's tempting.
But and the dice say that some weird things happen around there.
I bet. I bet there's some good food at the nuclear power plant.
I'm telling you, I can make a lot of things taste really good. I don't know if I can, regardless of the taste, omit any kind of factors that happen afterwards.
So really, our question is whether we go for the short-term solution of freeing the food for now, or the long-term solution of sending a message that they shouldn't be locking up the food anymore.
Short term means food. It means we get food now, though. Long
Yeah.
terms means we have to wait for more food. Yeah, short term. So what's the short term? Blowing things up?
Yeah, just like blowing off all the locks to get the food out.
Okay. You know, and humans they'll just think that it's another human. They'll never think that it's us. Like ever.
Teenagers, I'm telling you, teenagers, like it's an abandoned mall, right? I'm sure that there are hundreds of teenagers who come in and they vandalize things. That graffiti, like obviously, definitely hooligans.
Definitely not one of us.
Definitely not a raccoon in a hood.
Nope.
I
No
could
way.
actually
A raccoon.
print a zine containing basic recipes for how to make a small scale bomb for disabling locks, because like it's a lot of work for us to go around to every single lock. But if we just let all the animals know how to make their own small scale explosives to blow off the locks, then we help everybody.
It is still escalating to the point where now we are just weaponizing animals.
Well, the humans have done it to us forever, so why not?
Also, that is my whole stick.
So they would have to have like some sort of law or ordinance or something placed to have the padlocks done. What if we just like delete that from their computers? Then there's no law. Then there's nothing that says that they need to do that, right? That's how laws work. That seems right. I could hack into them.
But how often do humans check to see if the laws have been updated?
Send an email
Much better.
to everybody from the director of
think
the
they read
city
those.
or whoever. Send to all humans. No more padlocks. Leave your garbage untied at the top of the garbage bag. Just place it on the curb. Do not yell at the crows and raccoons and squirrels. Idea?
It seems to me that we need to come at this from several angles at once. Perhaps while Diego is exploding all of these dumpster locks, Mascot can hack their computer systems so that this is not done again. And meanwhile, Dee Dee can bake us some delicious recipes with whatever we find in the dumpsters, and I will be dashing and terrorize some humans to make sure they don't come here again.
Bobby,
I like this plan.
you're a genius.
Don't I know it?
Where did you get that accent though? Like, I mean, like I'm not complaining, but it's a little. You watched Carrie. You watched that movie way too many times, huh?
I'm sure
Item on
someone
Etsy.
has.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be over the fact that you opened up with the line for Men in Tights. Just, yeah.
You've got to establish my character early on.
Yep. Did it perfectly. Sorry. So yeah, blow stuff up, cook stuff, dash things, hack things.
Okay.
Good plan.
So we'll do that roughly in the order that you described. We'll just save the cooking for last to see what foods that we can acquire along the way or what you're going to look for that way. So Liz, we'll start with you. You were going to go destroy some locks.
Yeah, I think destroy some initial ones to try and get some stuff into now. And then maybe long term we'll talk about sharing bomb recipes with other animals. But for now, just immediate solution.
Awesome. So let me just What skills do you have for blowing up stuff?
My third rank skill is makeshift explosives.
Well, there you go. You can make a roll. It's 2d6, and the first die is how stealthy you are, and the second die is how effective you are. And after you roll, you can distribute +3 however you would like. Put +3 on one die, +2 on one, +1 on the other.
Well, my stealth is a 5. Effective is a 3, so I'm going to put 3 on the effective, so that it's a 6.
Nice, a 5 and a 6. You leave very little evidence. With a 5, it's just short of perfect. So it's obvious that there was some tampering. I mean, besides the locks being, kind of exploded. But for explosives, like, you don't really leave a lot of, like, evidence of a big explosion or anything. Like, you do a pretty precision job. Just with the perfection, and then with the stealth, you just leave very little evidence. Like, it's clear it was tampering, but it won't be clear that they were blown off even. Like, it, might have looked like torched off or something. They might see a few scorch marks, but man, you just did a beautiful little stealth mission of explosions. And so while that's happening and there's small explosions, and it just sounds like probably most people just think it's fireworks or something going off, in a series throughout the city. Jack, you were going to terrorize some people.
Yes, I'm on the hunt for city workers who are currently locking trash bins or just doing their otherwise jobs.
Okay.
I want to show them that the rats aren't the problem.
Excuse me.
It's us. And they should fear us.
Oh, they should. They should fear. And so, what kind of thing would you like to use? What kind of approach would you like to use to terrorize people? Are you going to go around swashbuckling like?
I'd like to scramble along the rooftops and ambush from above. If they're wearing a hat or they have a large amount of hair, I would like to destroy such a thing.
All right. Well, you do have ambush, and so you can make a roll. You can make a roll and then add a +1 to whichever die you would like after the roll.
Hair is really expensive.
Exactly.
That's so mean and petty.
Hair is really expensive. I love that so much.
That will teach them to work for a city council.
Hair is really expensive.
So I rolled 2 dice, right? And then do I pick either one I would like, or do I distinguish them separately?
You pick, like the first die is the stealth, and the second die is your effect, and then you can pick whichever die you would like to add the +1 to.
Cool. So the first die was 2, so my stealth was really bad, so I'll add to that to make it a 3. And then my effect was a 5, so that's so good.
All right. Yeah, you attract some notice as a strange, as a strange raccoon is just ambushing people, just the city workers, and a small rumor starts that there's like rabies or some kind of fever going around, like with the strays and stuff. But the city workers do cut back on like their parks work and everything because they're afraid of animal attacks now.
I like to make sure that as I leave every scene, I graffiti an arrow onto all the dumpsters, just to signify, this is why I'm doing this. It is pointed directly at the locks.
I want to give Bobby like a can of whipped cream to make it look like he's frothing. Like if I had one in my trash belly when he goes out and attacks people, I want to be like, take this with you.
Just sprays in his mouth. Witness me. Just sprays the whipped cream, and we'll get as much.
It got in my mouth, and it was all weird and sweet.
Onto people's clothes as possible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they
teach them.
Oh,
deserve
that's
it.
beautiful. I love
That's
it.
what you get for working for the city, you fuck. Anyway. No, that's
And
great.
then Baba Yaga, you were attempting to do hacking while they were breaking locks and causing chaos.
Yeah, so I think as the workers have gotten spooked, Mascot's gonna use that to their advantage and like go into the office, like climb in through the window, the office of one of the like in City Hall, like the mayor or whatever, and pretend to have rabies and like chase them out, lock the door, and now I have access to computer.
Excuse me.
And then I don't know,
Okay,
invite
so
a bunch of
let's
birds
do
in
the
to shit on
chasing out. Let's
everything. Yeah.
Nice. So let's do the chasing out first. I see that you have folklore urban legends at a +2, and yeah, you know the rabbit animal stories are pretty classic urban legends. So I'll let you do that to exaggerate your behavior,
All
make
right.
it more believable for people. So go ahead and make that roll, and then you can add +2 however you'd like after the roll, +2 to one die or +1 to both.
So it's going to be a 4 on the sneak, and it's going to be a 3 on the skill on the effect.
And so how would you like to add your +1s?
Oh no, that's with the pluses.
Bump. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
You run around frothing and everything, and you don't attract too much like negative attention, animal control or anything, but they do kind of end up shooing you out with a combination of brooms and like office folders and stuff. Like, no, get out, get out.
Should have actually gotten rabies. Okay.
But you do have tech hacking, and so what I'll say is that you only get +1 instead of +3 on your hacking attempt. But they are kind of there are some people away from their desk and stuff. You can try sneaking back around.
Okay. I'll go find some poor secretary's desk. Be like, sorry.
And then the same thing, go ahead and make
Yeah.
a roll, and then you can add +1 to either die after the effect.
Oh, that's great. So that's double sixes. I like that. Wait, no, hold on. No, that's
Nice.
1 and no, I was wrong. I thought I have a dice set and I thought it was on a 6, but the little whale's on a 1. Womp. No, it's on a 6. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm out of my mind.
Okay, no, that's okay.
So yeah, so
So-
I
so
rolled a
2
5
sixes.
and a 6. So that's 2 6s.
So that's 6 and 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, but after the not so great attempt to scare them off, you do manage to use the distraction to sneak back in, and even though you're at a little bit of a disadvantage because you're poking up and poking back down, so you don't get caught. You just hack their system. So you tell me what you would like to do, because whatever you would like to do, you can do it and leave absolutely no evidence that anybody broke into the system.
Going to send an email to all humans, so to every single entry in the address book, that just says that we're not to lock up, no padlocks on dumpsters. It's bad, it's rude, be nice, leave your garbage on the street. From the office of the mayor. Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to see if there is anything that says like legislation for padlocks and just delete the file.
Oh yeah. There's like a whole food disposal safety regulation.
No, there isn't.
Blasphemy.
You just
Not
delete the whole thing.
anymore.
Just the whole thing.
Yep.
Not
And I'm
anymore?
going to go and the recycling bin emptied. Nope. Take a magnet to well, maybe take a magnet to the computer. I don't know. No.
Yeah, if you're unsure, I'll flip a coin essentially.
Go ahead, flip a coin.
Yes, take a magnet to the computer.
Okay. I just really ruined this poor person's day. I'm gonna reach into my hoard and pull out just like a single red peony, just one single flower, and put it on the desk as a means as a way to say sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh, this poor girl's gonna have problems. I saw her earlier. Her boss is an asshole.
You're the boss with the broom. He was such a mean person. This is so
Let me
rude.
break into your computer.
Just run away like a regular person. All right. So the three of you do, your missions all pretty successfully there. What kind of food? Because you have cracked all the locks and stuff from the dumpsters. And Baba Yaga, you have access to the office fridge. So what kind of is there any kind of food in particular that you want to try to look for to bring back for your chef friend to make a mission success feast? Or Adele, is there something that you would like after they break the locks that you would like to go diving for?
So I think that it's going to be a really big thing about taking all of their like I'll help Baba Yaga, like I'll help Scott go and like collect the things from the office fridge and obviously the office trash. And kind of take it back to the food truck to see what we could make. I would have liked to, if possible, while the mayor was attacking poor mascot with a broom, I would have liked to record it. And
oh yeah, absolutely. You can. I mean, that's they were distracted quite successfully by that, and so yeah, I don't see a problem with you taking a recording of them like viciously attacking a poor confused raccoon, because that's what it looked
absolutely.
like. Just like a confused raccoon running around, and they're just like hitting it and stuff.
So I'm gonna record it with kind of an overlay of this is how our city treats our wildlife. Come to the freaking food truck that promotes happy wildlife. It does like food on a dime, and like underneath that kind of reel is the equivalent of like, look at all the happy like crows and animal friends that approve of this food truck, and the terrible mayor people, how they treat the animals. Bad mayor, bad.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Ooh,
That's so mean. That's so great.
that's wonderful. I love. No, that's fantastic.
I was just gonna
Nah.
say I was gonna
Oh,
grab
man,
some birthday office cake to bring back to the to the truck.
They always have cake, don't they?
Mhm.
And now here's 10 things you can do with a corner of a discarded sandwich.
Yes.
We're gonna make some croutons out of this leftover crust.
That's right.
That's fantastic. So, what kind? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say for the dumpsters, despite completely understanding the concept of ingredients making a whole when it comes to bomb making, I don't think Diego really cooks, and so I don't think he thinks about like ingredients are better than a whole. So I think he's looking for pizza and pizza boxes, thinking that will somehow be useful in crafting food. He's like, oh, pizza's great. Obviously, pizza would make something great. Here's just all the pizza I can find, not realizing that that's probably not a great ingredient component to bring back.
But we can take it
It's
apart
okay.
and make something new.
Deconstructed pizza.
Use the toppings, the cheese.
Make queso out of the cheese.
Thaw
Pepperoni
scrape
queso.
it
look at
off and
that.
thaw the dough and roll it together into a big bread roll. All kinds of things you can do. So according to the magical oracle dice, yes, they did dump the freezer recently. They did re-clear the freezer, so you get a dumpster full of frozen goods, including pizzas. It does say it's like mid weird, so there's like no normal pizzas. It's all like the that like mid high, like that fake high end. I'm talking about like the middle class pizzas, like all the different fancy flavors that they couldn't sell.
It's the seasonals.
Yep,
Seasonal
yeah,
that-
there's
that's,
all the
that's
seasonal
the worst pizza for us.
pizzas.
Like,
And
we like trash pizza. Like,
Yeah.
these are too good.
Yeah.
so you're bringing back like a pallet worth of fancy pizzas.
Perfect.
Wow. Pizza party.
Anybody else looking for anything in particular? Or just sort of the general like breads, yeah, you know,
Tupperware
milk
containers.
that's not bad. Tupperware containers. All right.
Yeah. When restaurants
Well, you know what? You're in
clear
an
their
office. I'm
fridge
not
out.
even going to roll for that. You can totally be super evil and steal all of their office Tupperware.
And break all
And if
their
you've ever
mugs.
worked in an office, you know how evil that is. Oh my goodness, bring all the mugs. Yeah. No mugs, no Tupperware. You walk in and they're just all gone.
All the coffee and coffee creamer as well.
Yep. Or only leave the coffee creamer.
No,
That's-
you can use that for desserts.
Yeah.
If
Like
you really
literally, how big can the hoard get? Because I'm just gonna be like,
There is no
I'm
limit
right.
on the size of a hoard. You can grab all the shiny that you can get your hands on as long as you don't get caught or stopped.
okay.
If you
Okay.
really want to sow dissidence,
I got that. Just
if you
shove
really
them
want to
through.
sow dissidence, take all of the Tupperware that is labeled with names on it, except for one singular name's Tupperware, and just leave that
Ooh.
one.
Yes.
Ooh, what's the mayor's name?
Still, we are on the same level. I love it.
Yes.
I am just stuffed with a bunch of crap from the office. Not anymore though. It's all fallen out of my hood. But yeah, I'm gonna bring that all back to. Oh, that's great. Fuck the bear. So we're throwing a party.
Yes,
A feast
I'm
to celebrate our victory, of course.
going to park the food truck
And
like
there will be
in the parking lot of their rival company. Wait, no, it's the city hall. Hold on.
Well, in that case, you could park it like in a. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Well, let's see. Does anybody have some area knowledge? You have area
I
knowledge.
do. I have area
Del.
knowledge.
So you can make an area knowledge roll to know like what contractors or business strip or anything like that is sort of part of the opposition, you know, the city political opposition or this on the outs with the mayor.
Yeah. Okay, so 2d6, correct?
Yeah.
That is a 5 and a 6.
All right. So
Cool.
yeah, you just just automatically know you don't stir up any fuss looking around or anything. And yeah, there's like a little restaurant strip that's super opposed to like the mayor's new zoning laws and things like that. You know, they're kind of being pushed out by some of his developer buddies and they're super opposed to him. And part of the opposition is that they are also part of the food truck culture, which a lot of cities and towns crack down on, limit the number of permits, the amount of time they can be out to protect other restaurants. So yeah, they'd probably be in with having like a little fuck the mayor protest and
Screw this guy.
you know, they
in particular.
probably so you know, you're sort of part of a different social circle than they are, them being like regular brick and mortar restaurants, but you probably know them around from festivals and stuff in the area. Food truckers usually have pretty friendly relations with each other and know each other, so
Absolutely. So yeah, so I am, once we are all like escaping into my food truck, I'll drive us over there. 'Cause I know a great place. And I will go ahead and put on like the Instagram reel and be like, who's gonna be setting up shop soon, and give the address. So side note, fuck the mayor.
yes.
And then like repost the video of him like shooing away mascot and be like, bad person, big red letters.
with permission from Dee Dee, Bobby will spray paint "fuck the mayor" on the side of the truck. or on the,
1000%.
or on the awning as they get into it.
Yes.
Yes.
Permission granted.
and with him doing it, it's not just like somebody spray painted the message on, like it's a whole like little mural that
Yes,
that reads
full
out from
graffiti
there,
mural,
like all colorful.
Yeah, with the arrow behind the text, and all it's like an arrow skewering the mayor in the image.
Nice.
Oh man.
So when you get to the restaurant strip area, what are you going to do then?
So I'm going to begin the joy of cooking, going through all of the things that we gathered from all of the Tupperware, because I have everybody with me. So nothing like a home cooked meal. Gotta make sure that we get everything going so I can set up shop. We're gonna take some proceeds. Also, I think one of the things that I want to set up, which is gonna be really helpful for Diego, is gonna be like trading. So not just people who bring in cash, but who want to trade items for food. So if they want to trade items, maybe we could get Diego some supplies for more destructive habits.
Yes. And I also wanted to work with you because I think I want to make the recipe for the bombs that blew open the locks, but like so we don't get crackdown issues. Use your knowledge to like phrase it like it's a food recipe that we could hand out at the truck to everyone who comes. But like if you're in the know, you can figure out what it's actually a recipe for.
Cherry bomb pies.
Yes. Fantastic.
We're having a special on cherry bomb pies. Recipe included with purchase.
Nice.
Or trade, obviously.
So I did some rolls while you guys were talking here, and so your Insta and TikTok posts start taking off. Like the first one with the mayor, there are a bunch of people really upset. And as you can imagine, with a town that would engage in animal control, like poisoning and locking up food dumpsters and things like that, they have some other aggressive measures too. Some of the people are complaining, like who do trap, neuter, release, like animal rescue, are complaining that they've been getting cracked down on and getting fines for not having animal handling permits and things like that. So it's just it's starting to kind of grow, and just as that's starting to take off, you post about like, oh, we're gonna have a fuck the mayor, come get some food. And that sends actually goes viral on its own and sends off the original post. And so by the time food is almost ready, there's like a crowd of dozens of people in it to get it started. And there's some people who have protest signs about the mayor and the city council, and we've talked about, there's a lot of like abandoned commercial strips and stuff, and so there's like a whole like little separate side protest about like all the abandoned like how like a third of the town is like basically like abandoned strips and commercial strips and businesses and stuff. And it's just sort of taken on a little life of its own at this point. And so Del, some of the other food truck restaurant people are gonna come up to the window and be like, so what's going on? So what? Did we miss a note or something, or?
They are like, for the people wise, like they're one of those people who they're very safety conscious. They continue to wear a mask, hairnet and hoodie, just keeping it all back. just safety reasons, obviously. That mayor has been just traumatizing the animals of this town. I heard that raccoon that he brought it in his office without anybody's knowledge and set it loose on all of the people in the office just to make it seem like animals were a problem. Because he's trying to get new
Sounds like
laws
stuff he would
passed.
do.
It does, doesn't
You know
it?
what? Let me listen. We'll get a couple of the other people here, and we'll fire up our trucks. Like, we'll just what are they going to do? There's enough people showing up here. They can't shut us down. What are they going to break down a food truck festival for a permit? I don't think so. Let's do this. And they go off. Just for our viewers' knowledge, Dell was describing some of the clothes they were wearing and things they were wearing, because our raccoon friends can take items from their hoard and put them on and look like a person of, basically like the general level or class of what they're wearing. So if they're wearing like a bunch of expensive bling, they could look like a rich business person. If they're wearing just regular work clothes, they can look like, pretty much any kind of like regular worker like they want to, like Del did. Just didn't want to avoid any confusion for people out there. And so, now some other food trucks are getting set up, and even more people are pouring in.
Speaking of rich
Spread
business
the word
people,
that the mayor's an animal abuser.
oh, absolutely. Speaking of rich business people, Bobby would like to, wearing his green hoodie, sneak through the crowd and see if he can spot anyone who's there, who's rich and posing, so that I may steal from them.
You see a couple, and it looks like they're trying to dress right for the crowd, and most people might not notice. But you're specifically looking for it, so you notice they're wearing designer clothes. The guy has a really nice watch on, and they're just trying to like schmooze and be like, oh yeah, we're so down for the cause. Like, the people have to rise up against the mayor, and we totally support that.
I think you mean I have a very nice watch, and that these people have tags on their back that say "rich bitch."
Worse than a kick me sign. Oh,
Poser. Big letters.
Okay, so
Ready to
would you
roll
like
that?
to make a roll to swipe the watch?
So my sneak is 3, and then 5 on the action. So I'll add 2 to the sneak using my thievery, steal from the rich,
Okay,
to make both 5.
nice. So you pocket the watch without a problem. Just he gets maybe jostled slightly in the crowd, but he doesn't really notice that his watch is missing. And
I'll probably
you
give
have a
him
very nice watch now.
a slap bracelet in replacement. Just take the watch.
a dirty slap bracelet, like a really grungy old one.
A really grody one.
Yeah. So now he has a very fancy, dirt encrusted, Lord knows what else encrusted slap bracelet, and you have a very nice watch. It's a fair trade.
Gotta find someone to give it to that needs it more.
Somebody who's always late. I want to steal from people as well. But
Make it a team effort.
Yeah, just a slight different approach. I want to be posed as a little old person with a tablet taking donations for animal support. And the thing that folks don't understand is that I have a reader, like it's a striped card reader, but I've hacked it, so I actually get and save all of their card information. So I could just, okay, cool, thank you for the donation. I'm going to empty your account out in 5 minutes, and like have the name of the company, have it be hacked to say Apple Inc. Just 100%.
Sounds about right.
That's
Nice.
what I'd like
Apple
to
and
try to
Google
do.
All right, you can go ahead and make that roll. Jack, for giving away the watch, there is a busboy that you spot taking out trash who's got some pretty obviously worn down shoes.
Mhm. So yeah, I'll slip the watch into the busboy's pocket so that they open it when they get home, and they don't get it out while they're there and then get caught. But hide it away on their person so they find it later.
Awesome.
So I got double sixes again for my. I am tech. I am
Nice.
tech.
So there's basically a line of people to you almost as long as any of the lines to any of the food trucks. Just but it just seamlessly blends into the scene. Like it's not like somebody in the middle of a big crowd. Like you're just another line that people are lined up for, as far as it looks like from a broader view. You're just seamlessly fitting in. Like, yeah, I'm just another street artist. I'm just another vendor.
I'm just trying to take donations to get that poor raccoon some medical treatment.
So you're going to have dozens and dozens of cards on record and several $1,000s in straight up cash that you charged immediately, for the sake of the appearances. So,
yeah.
you got to take the donations, obviously.
Yeah. And then clear the rest out later. Yep. I'm going to disperse that among Bobby, Diego, and Dee Dee because, distribution. My people, go. Everybody could use that way more than I could. So yeah, that should help a bit. But yeah, I got to do credit card hacking. I hate when it happens to you, but it's fun to RP it in a game.
And then Del and Liz, y'all were doing cooking and passing out some bomb recipes, if I understood that correctly.
Yes. At least for my piece, the recipe to make the bombs that blow up the locks disguised as a cooking recipe thanks to some assistance from Dee Dee.
Oh yeah, no, there are select cherry bomb pies that are going to very select customers.
All right.
Recipe included.
So which one of you would like to make the roll to identify the right customers to give the special recipe to?
I have Revolutionary Theory, which I feel like would help unless you have a better suited skill.
No, I feel like that would work just fine. It's a raccoon game. We're not doing two things too strictly. And I would like the skills to be all as broadly useful as each other. So Revolutionary Theory, if you're looking for other revolutionaries, I would say that's fair.
Yeah, identifying dissidents. You have it included in theory is
absolutely.
People for recruitment. What a good recruit might look like. So that's a 5 for my stealth and a 3 for my effect plus 2. So add the 2 to the 3, so it's 5 and 5.
It was 5 and 5. My guys are just doing wonderful. That's great. So, there's a couple of small points where, I'm not quite sure, and where a couple of people in line kind of think they might have noticed something, but with a 5 on stealth and a 5 on effect. You can point out the right people to hand the special pie pan to. And then Del, would you like to make a roll to see how well you're cooking and getting people to come to the food truck?
Absolutely.
And you do have +3 for people food.
I do.
So you can distribute +3 to the roll after the roll, however you would like.
Thank you. Give me one moment here. That's not as great as last time. So that is, you said I can distribute 3. So that'll be 4 and 5, because I'll distribute 2 and 2 and 1. Unless I'm rolling wrong. Am I rolling? It's perfectly possible.
So it's a 4 and 5 total.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you do a pretty good job cooking. Some people do take a little bit of notice at how unusually busy the truck is, but nothing too concerning. The truck is pretty popular, and you make several thousand more dollars from tips and sales. And some of the people who get the special pie plates come back in line to drop off an extra tip.
Yes. Yeah, we'll just say, oh, this is some of all donations are appreciated. So trying to look in on the ingredients is like, I knew I shouldn't have used that Tupperware from the back of the fridge. Too much mold. It's a little too green, but I thought the green could blend in as like kale. A lot of people are into kale.
Just a little too funky.
Just a little too funky.
Just a little. That's so gross.
I heard humans once say that like eating mold makes you not sick anymore.
Yeah, it's a new trend, obviously. It's like ginger shots, but with mold.
Oh, it's homemade kombucha. Just don't ask too many questions about that, really.
I did not let it ferment long enough. That's what we'll go with.
Yeah. Oh.
More fermentation is better. Let that cabbage sit in the fridge a little bit longer.
Or out of the fridge.
It's got a kimchi-ify.
Oh, yeah. That's delicious.
When it turns into a chia pet, it's a problem.
That's when it's gone too far.
All right. So as the night goes on, the crowd doesn't really seem to dissipate, and things are starting to get a little rowdy. Like the humans are getting a little noisy and pushy.
Are they drinking?
It's kind of unnerving.
Have they started drinking?
Yeah, there's a lot of them have started drinking.
Shit.
You can smell the fumes wafting off a bunch of them.
So I have 2 modes, like one of which is sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, this seems like an opportunity.
I was going
to a similar place.
Yeah, the two modes are 1, we should leave, but then 2, also come back and incite riots and chaos. So if we leave in the food truck and then we come back with our raccoon nonsense, then the food truck won't get in trouble and we won't get fined, but chaos will still ensue.
Yeah.
Yes, we should direct their ire towards something specific. Perhaps the mayor, as he is the current target of our mistrust today.
I wonder if we could get him to come here.
Or does anybody know where he lives?
I have a cell phone. Can I look on Google?
Look on BookBook. Look on BookBook for his address.
You can Google.
Oh, do we know if he has a family?
I was saying, you can totally Google it. Mayor's residence in most towns is a publicly listed thing. A lot of them have like a publicly owned residence. So yeah, it's not hard to Google up where the mayor of this town lives.
Oh.
Yes. So I will show my fellow Chaos Gremlins, look, I have his address right here. See if we can get him to come down. This
Or-
mayor has probably
or-
done nothing. And we're being for
Well,
all we know, he loves raccoons.
This mayor's just like an average inner ring suburb mayor, just trying to like keep his decaying
One-
town together, and like the town's
ACAB,
just imploding now.
ACAB. 2, pass legislation specifically against animals and probably against unhoused people too, because like if you want to be honest, locking
Hey.
your dumpsters isn't just an attack on animals. Yeah, no,
Fair.
I
All
think,
sympathy gone.
yeah.
Hey, listen,
What if
it
we
might
say-
be
conservative views are enough
personal,
for
but
us.
he made it personal.
Yeah.
I was just saying it might be personal, but he made it personal.
We made it
He
personal.
attacked first, locking up those dumpsters.
Yep.
So how do we get him here?
What if we
Or-
say that he trapped he found the raccoon and has it hostage at his house? Is gonna like put it down. So we send a mob to his house.
We send them there.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the food trucks
Through
can
the
stay
city.
here, so we don't have
Yeah.
to move.
Yeah. So what we could do is we could make a quick break, go over there, record me in distress. So you have evidence, post it, say, oh, it's happening right now. And like get Diego and Bobby in there too. Like, oh no, there's more. It's not just one raccoon, it's the whole population. Just
I have-
ruin this
I
man's
have-
life.
I have like a secondary account that I can post it from and tag us in.
I could also
There you-
print flyers that we could pass out around the like
Yes.
distribute stealthily through the crowd, showing these pictures.
Let's do it.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I will put like
All right,
I'll close it down, but I'll put like a sign like be right back, like
Supply
lunch
run.
break or something like that. It's like making more food or getting a food run, something like that. And I'll be like, we'll be right back.
Yeah, no, we're just having our off hours. We'll reopen for late hours whenever. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a normal thing. So, no need for a roll for that or anything. So Liz was going to go through the crowd and hand out flyers, while Del and Baba Yaga were going to cause distress. Jack, were you going to join them in causing distress, or were you going to do something else?
I think Bobby will stand on a nearby statue and call out to the crowd. Check your pockets for flyers, friends. There's a target for our ire. You all know what the mayor's been doing these last few months. Changing ordinances, making life harder for animals and the homeless. And we found out where he lives. Let's go smash some windows, eh? And then Bobby will skitter down, which is, it looks a little bit weird for the humans.
That's a really agile man right there.
And then
Weird legs,
start
it's fine.
spray painting arrows at regular intervals for the direction for the crowd to follow.
You're muted, Rev.
Keeps meeting on me. So first we'll do Del and Baba Yaga making the post, causing a scene, making the post, because that will impact Liz's flyers. We'll go through Liz passing out the flyers, and then we'll come back to Jack for the speech to wrap it up and see what kind of mob we got. I just got to say that, like, when we started off with explosions and then started escalating from there, I should have known that we were going to end with leading an armed mob against the mayor.
I mean,
It's the logical conclusion.
the people's revolution will happen whether or not the city council agrees with it. So it was either today or tomorrow. Why not today?
Awesome. So Del and Baba Yaga, you can get to the mayor's house without a problem. You know where it is and everything. What are you going to do when you're there? How are you going to try setting up a scene? It doesn't. Let's see. The mayor is asking Dice a couple questions. The mayor is just looks like he's just sitting in his living room, with his wife. They're watching some
They're watching Pat Sajak.
show on TV. Yeah, they're watching some game show or something. The rest of the house seems mostly dark. You know, a couple lights on in the kitchen, which is at the other end of the house.
I have a plan.
Okay.
Follow me with this, okay? Is it possible to pull out like a small rat trap, like one where Mascot would look like squished in?
We're in the garage. If we don't
I
have
want to
one in
see if
a-
they have like any kind of like rat trap or something like that. Like a gopher trap. I don't know.
They do have like one of them old fashioned pet transport cages, and it was probably for a small dog or a cat. Looks like it's been just sitting unused. It's like in a pile of random junk by their garage or shed.
So I want to put this on like if they have a back patio, put it on a back patio. My plan is to have Mascot go inside and see if I can get some of my crow friends to come here in exchange for shinies to throw themselves against the window and then lay on the ground for a little bit, just like throw themselves against the window to get their attention and then lay on the ground. And then I want to film that, and I want to film them coming out and like being like, oh my gosh, look at the way that they treat the animals, the birds and the raccoon from The Office. Just terrible people. If possible.
Okay.
It's a very elaborate plan.
I would like to. I call that, and I would like to raise finding some red paint or something to like, with the effect of blood in the trap, just to add to the drama. I love this. This is
Just have Mascot laying.
All right.
yeah.
So,
check.
moving the trap, and it takes a minute for you to squeeze in there, Baba, but you can, it's a little bit of a tight fit. Like I said, it was for like a cat or a small dog
Yeah,
or something, and
It's supposed to
you're
be
a full-sized
painful.
mature raccoon, so excuse me. And then, so Del, first I would like you to make the +2 animal crow roll. To see how sneakily and well you attract a little murder of crows to you. You can trade with them for free, so we won't worry about that aspect.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
you
luckily
can-
I've got some coins from all of them coming over.
If you want to
giving
tell
me
your
my
little crow friends that they can peck at me if they want to make it, just I'm willing to paint his
just
beauty.
leaving you out to the elements.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, the scavenger birds are they're just so injured and helpless. Even the scavenger birds are trying to attack them. Oh, it's so horrible.
No, it's terrible.
this is what happens when you lock up your garbage.
It's free garbage for all. So that'll put it at 5 and 5.
All right, so you managed to attract a pretty large, like a few dozen crows, so like a full murder, and the way you call them and signal them over, they're actually pretty quiet when they come over. There's only a couple little caws here and there, so it doesn't attract attention as you do it. They happily take some shinies to play act. So they
I've got some paper clips
and
some nipples.
they're crows, and you rode well, so they even fiddle with like the little patio door and get the patio door open so that they can look like they're trapped inside and fly against the glass trying to get out.
Yes. So I'm gonna post myself like somewhere like in like one of the bushes and just have the camera out and be like, so I found my way to the mayor's house trying to find out what happened to that raccoon from the office earlier today, and you'll never guess what I found. cue everybody just slamming themselves
So-
against the window and mascot. Bleh.
Yeah, so you're like you come in with the camera and like you zoom in on like what looks to be like a bloodied, injured raccoon, and there's a few crows pecking at it, and it's just, oh my god, it's heartbreaking. And as you go in, you're going along the windows of the house, and then all of a sudden as you go along the windows of the house, like 3 crows go bam, 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 trying to fly into the glass to get out, and they're flapping on the ground, all broken and helpless, making a little pathetic, like,
Yes, ham it up.
oh man, I'm laughing, but I'm imagining this like somebody
is
posting
so
this and looking at me
sad.
like, oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah, no, this is
It's
so
that's
horrible.
what I'm evoking. I want that
emotional manipulation works every time.
every time.
Jeez. This is so
Pretty
awful
much
and
the
so-
second you post that, it because you already like got people stirred up and everything before, it explodes. People are using vulgarities and very violent language in reference to the mayor and to his favorite people in the council. To some people in the government that you didn't know exist, you're like the parks director. Who the hell's the parks director? Okay, well, screw that guy too, I guess.
It's all of these people are awful. Look at all these people in positions of power. I'm gonna see if one of my little crow buddies can go and kind of light the fuse, like fly back towards the food truck grounds and get Diego to like that's the signal. To be like, let's go incite a riot.
Okay.
1 crow if incite the riot,
right.
2 crows if abort. Yep, totally worked that out before.
Definitely.
So for Liz, Diego has a crow fly down like right next to him and goes, "Ah," and then flies off. And that was the signal you were told about. So you can start trying to
Oh,
pass out
you're muted,
flyers.
Liz.
Is there anything in
Yeah.
particular you would like them to say, or any particular way you like to go about it?
So I would like to use my skill in zine printing to really make them grab people's attention. Because like everybody hands out brochures and flyers, but you like the secret to that is really making them like pop out the gate so people are actually looking at them right away. And then we're focusing on a really visceral image from like the clip that's now been uploaded, and then the mayor's address. And then just like a simple like, is this your mayor or something like that? Just something that gets right to the point. And just communicating that information as we spread it out through the crowd.
Awesome. Go ahead and make a roll for that to see how successfully attention grabbing they are and how non-suspectly attention grabbing it is.
So
Did your letterpress run out of ink halfway through the zine printing?
it might be something because the stealth is a 5. The base die is a 1 on the effectiveness. Now I have 2. It's a 2nd level skill, so I can bump it up to a 3, but it is only a 3 on the effectiveness.
Okay. They unfortunately, yeah, you just couldn't find the right paper and the right printer combination, and so they look sort of half faded and amateur. But you do very successfully sneak through the crowd and make sure that the flyers are very well distributed. Jack, when you make your roll, you'll take a -1
Cool.
because of the weaker effect on the Zine attempt.
I'm rolling for the speech, right, to persuade everyone to follow me. So it's a 5 on the sneak and a 3. I'll take 1 off the 5 to make it a 4 sneak and 3 on the effect.
Okay. So a 4 and a 3 on the effect. The crowd is a little confused. Like, people's attention have been got. The flyers have been distributed. They paid attention to you, and you're not getting like the wrong kind of attention. But people do seem a little like fractured, a little disjointed, a little confused about
I imagine Bobby
exactly
didn't
what
actually-
they should do.
Yeah,
They
Bobby
are
didn't
starting
read
to
the flyer.
move towards the mayor house, but they don't have a clear purpose.
Yeah, but Bobby definitely
At
didn't
this
read
point.
the zine before starting his speech, and it's just like off on a tangent
It's just
about
a
it.
little mismatched. Yeah, just a little
And remember,
mismatched
if
of
it's
an
owned by a
effort.
corporation, it's fair game on the way there. If you see a McDonald's on the way, make sure to stop and search its trash and bring me anything interesting you find.
Got a little hungry.
We also might have hit that threshold with
So-
like a
so right
drunk
now-
crowd. We might have hit that threshold with the drunk crowd where we're like, we waited too long and now we're like one or two beers too many, and they're starting to like they've reached past the rowdy peak and now they're in the like kind of groggy peak.
Yeah, there's some people who are going around knocking over trash cans and ripping open trash bags and stuff. There are some people who are kind of milling towards the mayor's house. There's another little group of people who are starting to move towards City Hall. And then, yeah, just the kind of cluster of people who are milling around to stick around to get another beer and burrito. So at that point, would anybody like to take a break, or do you guys want to keep going?
I think I'm good.
I do need a brief break.
Yeah, I would like to take a break as well. Like 10 minutes?
Okay. Would like 10 minutes okay for you, Del?
Yes.
All right. So let's reflect on our little bit chaotic of a crowd and how we're going to react to that in a moment. We're going to take a 10-minute break, everybody. Thank you again for joining us for Tales of the Table, Days of Tales 2. Please remember to donate to NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental. I just lost it. But yes, donate to NAMI. They help people with mental health issues. They're wonderful. They support a lot of community programs. The link is in the chat. And we'll see everybody in about 10 minutes when we return for even more Raccoon Chaos, which I'm slightly terrified for considering how it's gone just in the first half.
What?
I love
Nobody's
everybody. We'll see
died.
you all in 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Hi, and welcome back to Eat Trash, Do Crime Part 2. We're returning after our break here. As a quick recap, our adventurous crew here discovered that the evil, wicked mayor who hates animals was passed a law with his cronies to put locks on all the food dumpsters for the restaurants and grocery stores. And that was clearly an assault against them and their animal way of life. And so they freed the dumpsters and then, filmed the mayor and some office members chasing around a raccoon, chasing it out with a broom, looked awful for them and started a viral movement. Then they got their food truck together and a bunch of other food truckers and some angry people from the viral post and started sort of like a little mass protest. As the evening went on, the people got drunk. Then they went and staged a horrible, horrible scene at the mayor's office. Just, there's a apparently a bloody raccoon in like an undersized cage and crows smacking themselves on the glass trying to escape the house. It was just a horrible scene that was entirely engineered by them to make the mayor look bad, which they very successfully did. And then our other two raccoon friends distributed flyers and tried to get the crowd riled up, but the crowd was one or two drinks a little too far in, so they've only started a semi-riot with people sort of splitting off into 3 or 4 different groups doing different things. And that's where we are as we return to the game. And I'd like to thank you for joining us for Days of Tales 2. It is a charity event going on all weekend long. 12 hours a day, 3 days here today and Saturday and Sunday, just full of games and panels and wonderful people. And it's all in support of NAMI, which is a wonderful group that does all kinds of community interventions and support for mental health. So please donate to them and please support the channel. It's a wonderful cause. And so with that, we will return back to our game. And I'll throw it to my players here so they can discuss how they're going to move forward from here with the fragmenting crowd, but a lot of anger stirred up.
I think Bobby will scramble over to Diego. I feel like we've done a good thing here. It's all going according to plan, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more of like a focused chaos, but also widespread chaos is still chaos. So yeah, I think it's still a win.
I feel this way they'll cover more ground.
They are certainly doing that. And I feel like there's some attitudes we can build on if we're thinking more long term here and stopping this whole mayor situation.
Ah, yes, the dastardly mayor. That's why we're doing all this.
Yes.
So should we find a way to corral them together in one direction, or should we deal with this ourselves and punish the mayor on our own terms?
I'm always a fan of getting more group involvement because it also distributes potential repercussions. But there's nothing like direct action, to be fair. So I'm okay with either.
We'll see who follows us. But we'll take the small group we have, and maybe these 10 or 11 or so will be enough to scare the mayor into undoing all of the horrible crimes they definitely did that we didn't make up.
That we are completely justified in all of our actions because of. Yes, exactly.
Huzzah! Onward! And Bobby will continue to lead the milling crowd towards the mayor's house, as many as he can get.
Oh, you're muted, Rev.
So you're going to try to herd as many of the people together into the group heading towards the mayor's house.
Yeah, not all of them, just the ones that are going in the right direction. Try and make sure they stick to it.
Okay, just sort of
More
keep
hurrah.
that group together. You're not trying to run off and herd other, you run
Yeah,
around and
yeah.
herd other people, but the group that's already heading there, you're going to try to keep them cohesive and focused
Yeah,
on.
make sure
going
those
after
ones
the
are
mayor's hat.
riled up. Rather have a small, passionate group. Will actually do
Awesome. So you can go ahead and make a roll to try to get them a little bit more focused and a little pep in their step, a little bit more, directed towards the goal.
Cool. I have no skills involved, so it's just a straight roll, right?
Indeed.
Sneak is 5. So I'm doing it very clandestinely, and then 4 on the action.
All right. So the people are a little drunk, but you don't seem suspicious or like a pointer or anything like that to them. And you go ahead and you pretty much keep stragglers from wandering off and get the crowd moving more quickly towards the mayor's house, and you get some of them shouting like anti-mayor stuff and that to keep the crowd on task.
Jack, not my mayor.
All right. So Liz, you were with the group. Was there anything you were doing along with it, or you just sort of just going along with it? Like, yeah, screw the mayor.
So I think now that I think about it, we've got a good batch of humans here, but we don't really have a lot of animals involved. Other than like the ones who helped with the scene. So I think as we're going, Diego's making a case to like any like pigeons, squirrels, possums who he has connections with all of, to try and get them kind of involved and build this mob out a little bit. Since we lost kind of our big human mob, so maybe we can build it out with some animals along the way to increase the impact.
Awesome. All right. You have both squirrels and pigeons, so I'll go ahead and give you +2 on your roll. I'll let you stack them. You're trying to appeal to both of them, and it's a bit of a march to the mayor's house, so you've got some good time.
Ooh, okay, that's a good roll. So I got a 4 on stealth and a 5 on success before I add anything. So I think I'm gonna just bump each one up 1. So take that 5 on a stealth and a 6 on effect.
So the same thing. You don't seem sus or anything. Like nobody notices you kind of appearing to be somebody doing a Dr. Doolittle or a raccoon that's following along all weird or anything like that. And yeah, 6 on the effect. Yeah, people don't really notice, but along the rooftops and through the little alleyways and backyards and the houses along the streets that you're walking, there's like a whole little mob of like pigeons and squirrels and rats and grackles, and you know, there's some sparrows that are following along like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, that's so cute.
But yeah, with the noise, with them being kind of intoxicated, I made a roll, just so you know, because intoxicated people can see through your horde disguises, right? Like a couple people have mentioned that, like, you know, you guys are like, oh man, that dude needs to get like laser treatment. Something, you know, like little side comments like that, like, I know you're supposed to be hairy as a man, but that's just a little ridiculous, or like somebody does like a double take at you. But so far the rolls have, nobody's really like fully noticed through the glamour yet. It's just sort of like they're drunk and snotty about it, or they just sort of do a double take, like what, and then you both are also rolling very well on your stealth, so not going
There's
to make
definitely
anything else
somebody
of it.
there who sees Diego as like a bear daddy and is like, oh, here's my number, you know, just in case you're interested.
I could just nuzzle up in your chest hair
Oh
all
my
day
God.
long.
There's at least 2 of those in the crowd.
There always is.
There's, you know, there's about 50 to 100 people, so yeah, there's got to be at least 2. Just statistics.
Yeah, and there's more in their
Statistics
head
online.
thinking about that would be really nice to cuddle with somebody that fuzzy, but they're too scared to say. It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you two at the house, as you hear this slightly drunken mob approaching.
Yes.
Look,
I have,
fuck up
Should
his
I have-
house.
Should I
I
stay in
have
the
further
cage?
plans for chaos.
Wait, in the cage or out of the cage? It's going to take me a second to get out of the cage if I need to.
I don't know. I'm gonna.
Well, it's been a while at this point, like, while for the crowd to make it over, so you have plenty of time to get out of the cage.
Okay.
Stress
I mean,
over
whatever
that.
the plan is, if I have to stay in the cage for the plan, what? But
So
yeah.
I would have filmed.
Oh, that
me,
is a
like,
good question.
releasing the raccoon back into the wild.
Okay, yeah,
So it's fine. You're cool. Your covers.
cool.
Cover's
All right.
still good.
Now to return to my human guys as old person. But
I
what's
am
the plan?
old
What are we doing,
person.
So my thoughts, and go with me on this.
yeah,
So if we get some of our crow friends to use some of Diego's bombs along the street once the mob gets here, and if we can use the genius that is your technology skills to, over a speaker, have the mayor's voice saying "get out," like when he was talking to the birds, then it'll look like he's setting off the bombs towards the people.
Yes. Let's do that. We find like some Bluetooth speaker somewhere to hack. I'll pull one out of my hoard. I definitely have a small little portable Bluetooth speaker in my stash.
We'll put it like right by the
You
front,
know
like
what?
his front porch, like in a bush.
So I ask the dice, is he one of those mayors who has like an honorary squad car in his yard? And he does. It's super. The roll said it's super weird. So it's going to be like one of those blinged out like ego cars. Like, look at me, I'm the mayor.
Yes. Even better.
So we hack the system. We get the bombs with the birdies and have it coordinate to where like they come around the bend on the road and we see them and start going, get away or get out. Start playing that and then have the birds drop the bombs.
If you handle the Bluetooth, I'll set up the camera to record him attacking the crowd, and I'll try and get access to the car to drive it towards the crowd.
Oh, yes. Yes. And then you can, yeah, just don't hit anybody. I don't want you to get hurt.
No. Just towards them, and then we'll crash it into a mailbox or something.
Yeah, into a tree.
Then there's property damage as well. Nobody likes property damage.
Which house is the nicest one for the mayor? Because that should be the one that we target, because guaranteed the mayor is going to hate whoever owns it. If their house
who
is
has
nicer.
like the nicest lawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one we'll hit.
That's the target.
We'll hit somebody else's car so that their
we'll probably
insurance
hit a
company
lot
will-
of cars with the bombs. If we're talking
that's
about
also
little
true.
cherry bombs, this whole neighborhood.
I don't know how they work.
So,
Diego will figure it
a
out.
couple of quick things. I want to remind everybody that you started with 3 Trash Belly, and Trash Belly is kind of cool. Like, one thing, you can spend a Trash Belly to flawlessly use human tech for the whole scene. Could be relevant. And another thing you can use Trash Belly from is to do the impossible, to overcome an impossible obstacle or do something you normally wouldn't be able to otherwise. So Del, you could spend a Trash Belly when you disguise yourself with the Horde to make yourself look like the mayor. Just throwing out, like, it seems very relevant to bring this mechanic up, and it does add to what you're both trying to do.
I could look like the mayor, go back inside the house as a raccoon, and then run out of the house as a raccoon as the mayor comes out the door. Can you drive? You don't really need to be good at driving to crash the car, to be fair.
If you spend the Trash Belly, you can just use human tech flawlessly. That's around when you spend it. So the car is there. If you spend it for the whole scene, you can use the car computer, like the little cop computer, drive the car, do whatever like a normal person could, but flawlessly, like you know how to use it.
Okay,
This
Dee
is
Dee,
That's
you
one of the
disguise
cool things
yourself
of
as the
Trash
mayor.
Belly.
I'll disguise myself as the
the mayor.
mayor's wife, and I can deep fake. Use an AI app and deep fake some audio where the wife says something really horrible too, because she's married to him. So there's obvious we're going after her too now.
Obviously, also a bad person.
Yeah.
So real quick, Liz, what's Diego? You're gonna set up some bombs with some of your bird friends, you were saying. What kind of bombs are you gonna go? You gonna go for more of a flashbang, or are you trying to make like an actual boom? Like what kind of bombs are you gonna give them?
I think this skews more towards like the special effects style, where it's going to be very bright and very loud with probably minimal damage, because we're trying to impact people perception of what's happening versus what's actually like happening. So it's more in like the special effects category.
We're gonna
So
flashbang him.
like a stage explosion. Nice.
Yes.
Flashbang.
Some people might get singed if they're right next to it, but you shouldn't cause any real harm.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I do specifically, Diego specifically has the trick because it's a 3rd level skill, that their explosives don't ever harm a living creature. So they'll be just enough to like spook people, but won't actually hurt anyone.
You can even
People have
cause
to
some
go to the
street
hospital,
damage
it's
if you're
fine.
using your trick. You could even cause some street damage and not hurt the people at the same time. Almost like a movie explosion, like where the safe blows open and people just have some soot on them, you know?
Yes.
And just for our viewers, real quick, to explain a trick: when you max out your skill at the 3rd level, you get a trick. And a trick is like a supernatural extra you can do. It's just like a movie stunt or like a supernatural ability, and you can do it like once every other scene for free. And then
Diego's is,
Jack, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Diego's is no animals were harmed in the making of this pipe bomb. which is what allows him to not let
I
anyone
love
be hurt
it.
with any of his explosives.
So Bobby's a bit of an
And then,
opportunist.
like we saw, oh
Um,
yeah,
So while this is going on, I think the job is done getting the crowd to go in the right direction. Bobby's going to speed ahead to the mayor's house and sneak around to look for some stuff to steal before the crowd gets there.
awesome. Well,
Steal
it
the
is
key
the
to the
mayor's
city.
house, and and as you could see from the kind of cop car he has in the yard, you know, his little like, you know, oh, I'm an honorary sheriff, you know, all blinged out
bougie.
like I am the mayor of the town. He probably has some shiny, very shiny stuff in his house. What
A
in
sheriff, I
particular-
knew it.
Is there anything in particular? Is there anything
I had
in particular you'd
misgivings,
like
but no
to look
more.
for?
I'm looking for valuables again because I want to make sure that I take anything.
You're just looking for like the highest value items.
the highest value
essentially.
small items that
to
I can redistribute to those who need it. So yeah, digging around in
Alright.
jewelry boxes and safes.
I think he has like a PS5.
Yeah, the mayor's wife has it's all like very basic, like mundane, common kind of stuff, but she has a huge collection of jewelry. It seems like the mayor apologizes a lot.
She has a separate jewelry box for I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looks like. There's a lot of engraved stuff in one box and whatnot. But just in general, she you know, she's gotten a lot of diamonds over the years. So there's plenty of jewelry for you, Nick. Is there anything else in particular that you were looking for?
Food, I think, would be the next step. If there was some lights on in the kitchen, right? So I'll just keep an eye on what the mayor's doing.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
have and
scrabble
so
around the kitchen.
moving into the kitchen, sort of the more main living area, go ahead and make a roll for me, for your thievery, just to see, make sure you don't attract too much attention while you're rifling around in their kitchen.
So I rolled a 1 on my sneak, but a 6 on my effectiveness.
All right, so you go into the kitchen and you are just distracted because this is like the perfect kitchen. Like somebody just bought out a Whole Foods and put it in this kitchen.
There's bananas in these
And
skins.
so there,
Whoa.
yeah, there's just all kinds of like fruit and stuff, and just the pantries are full. And so you pretty much clear out the kitchen like in a blink of an eye. You're just like, boom, 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 boom,
whole
boom. This all
apple.
goes like into your hoard.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
apples were round.
Whole apples. There's like a 50-pound bag of potatoes in their pantry. Like, who can even eat a 50-pound bag of potatoes? You can. Yoink.
They have cold lunch meat.
Where's all the green parts on these potatoes?
Where's all the plants that grow out of them?
So as you're taking like the last container of OJ from the fridge and putting it into your fur, into your hoard, the mayor and his wife come in, and yeah, they see a raccoon with the fridge open, and like all their stuff has gone off the counters and stuff, and they're like,
The fake fruit is gone as well. just in case.
See this
quick question,
raccoon
because you
standing
rolled
on
a
the
6, you
counter
can
like
just steal whatever you want from this kitchen. You can take anything up to the size of like a small
think,
television
The Vitamix.
and stick it in your hoard.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I was going to say, are you
they
going
arrive,
to take the appliances, and
I
are
was
you going
gonna-
to take their silver?
I'm going to for sure take the microwave.
Convenience.
You can cook so many things.
some new appliances for the truck.
Just full raccoon, like, and then leap up, grab the lamp and swashbuckle away up through the kitchen window and out through the front.
So you don't even need to make a roll for that. Anything a raccoon or an athletic human being could do, you can just do automatically. So you do it. They're like frozen in like shock for a moment, and you take that opportunity to be like, "See you later." Does
Thanks,
a little
goodbye.
swashbuckle move out the window,
I think I go
and
to the.
as you go out the window, the crowd arrives and is screaming obscenities at the mayor's house. What were you going to say, real quick, Jack?
I get to the in front of the house, so that where the crowd can see me in raccoon form. I'm no longer wearing the green hoodie. I just do a full acting like, "Oh no, I've been harmed by the mayor," and
Yes.
I've escaped. Oh,
then collapse
Somebody
on the ground.
please give me treats.
Yes. So as you leap out the window, the crowd's arriving, and you decide to play act a bit and ham it up. Tumble out the window like, "Oh, I've been so abused."
And then crawl away.
All right, and then Baba and Dal, we were doing something with the car and disguises here.
And
So
guys
if
up
I'm
first,
remembering
right?
correctly, Dell now looks like the mayor, and Baba Yaga looks like the mayor's wife.
Yep, I got
Oh,
Jory.
nice. Puts
I'm
on
a
the
wife.
curls.
So yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna just do the Bluetooth thing, and Dee Dee is just gonna cause so much more chaos and just hacking playing a
It-
sound file.
All
it
right.
helps that Bobby is there, because as Bobby comes out the window, that's the exact time that I want to start yelling just awful things about raccoons and the people who support wildlife, and just be like, I should have kept you in that cage longer. You're lucky that you're still alive. I'll make a rug out of you if I get my hands on you. Like, just the worst
Oh
things
my
ever.
God.
It's like all the citizens in this town are horrible for thinking that any animal is worth their salt in anything.
Yes, dear, you're exactly correct. I'm your wife.
Oh man.
And also, animals
Wonderful
are
character
bad.
assassination. So Liz, would you make the +1 pigeon roll for Diego to see how well your pigeons drop the bombs you made?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pigeons dropping
Oh.
bombs, that they should be proficient in that. I mean, just saying.
You would hope. That's a 3 for stealth and 1 bumped up to a 2 for effectiveness.
Yes.
Oh no.
I can make good bombs.
All right, so,
not so great at commanding bitches.
Yeah, people. Yeah. So the pigeons try to follow your directions and end up sort of bombing a neighbor's house. while Baba was using hacking the speakers to be like, "I'll get rid of all you people. You get away from here right now. I'll do what I want to animals." And some part to parts of the side of the neighbor's house is missing now.
Oh no.
And so they're not exactly the expected effect, but according to the dice, people are indeed riled up. They think
Get those
that the
people
neighbor's
off my
in with them.
lawn. I want the card.
Like somebody starts yelling, "You can't do that! You can't just do what you want because you're the mayor. You can't blow up people's houses."
Yes, you can. I'm the mayor's wife, and he does whatever he wants.
Yeah, you people are dumb for voting for me.
You should know that all
Move
government
them
is
over.
corrupt, and the people who run for the local offices are the most corrupt out of all of us. I mean, no, I'm the mayor's wife.
Run those dirty peasants over.
Yeah. Pedal to the metal, baby.
So, Del, I'm gonna have you make the roll to see how well you guys run into the house, and Baba, I'm gonna have you make the roll to see how well the two of you talk it up at people.
Okay.
Can I do the people?
Oh, you can switch it if you would like. You can, Baba, try to do the swing.
I don't know.
So let's
Whichever
do the
you wanna
swing
do.
first.
Okay.
I get a +3 to people. I don't know if it applies in this particular regard.
Sure, you can do that. Yeah.
So I got a 6 on the stealth, and I got a 1 on the effect.
Okay.
So people think I'm her, but like I'm drunk. They don't
We'll
recognize
get to
me as
that
a
in just a second. It'll be fun.
Oh no. Okay, so I can split the 3 onto both parts, right?
Mhm.
But I don't have to if I don't want to.
No, you can put the 3 wherever you want on one die. You could do a +2 and a +1.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the 3 all on one side so I can make that a 4. So that's a 4 and a 4. So
All right. So you effectively, you together effectively convince the people that you are the mayor and his wife, and that you are probably a little drunk and mocking them. As you rush into the house, you collide with the mayor and his wife.
oh no.
You're super effective, so you don't blow your cover completely. They come out looking mussed up, which just fits the presentation that you were giving. But with the really low stealth, you notice that there's a dude in the crowd who's dressed in a little too nice of a suit, who seems to be paying a little too much attention, and he's talking on his phone.
Oh no.
Oh,
Poof to raccoon, I guess, and then run out of the house like we were more raccoons trapped.
Yeah. And so you guys successfully run out as raccoons. The mob is riled up. And they're starting to smash some of his
Enough.
windows and stuff at this point.
okay.
There's some people rocking the cop car.
Okay. So what's the next phase of this operation?
I don't know. That's as far as I got. I didn't think we'd get this far.
Well, you guys could.
Let's
You
meet
guys
back
could
up
escape
with
at this
Bobby
point,
and
or you-
Diego. We gotta regroup.
Yeah, let's go find
At
our
the very
fellow
least.
raccoons.
There's too many humans here. I don't
You
like
guys
this.
can, yeah, you guys can spot each other pretty simply. So you can find each other and regroup on the side of the chaos as the mayor and his wife are like calling the cops and trying to get people to calm down or leave, and their windows are getting smashed, their bushes are getting torn up.
I am gonna scoop up my phone, and just like kind of live stream for a moment before like we meet back up, and so maybe we should go back to the food truck before we get caught, because some of these people are looking a little too hard.
Ooh. Yeah.
Unless you
It
wanna
has
say
been a
no
couple
problem.
scenes since you used it, so you could use your trick, Dell, so you can just open any door and everybody walks back into your food truck kitchen.
Are we okay to leave?
Yeah, we should create an alibi just to make sure nothing like causes a
Oh, we
problem
weren't
for us.
there. We were at the food truck the whole time.
Okay, nothing like a good home cooked meal. So we will pop all back into the food truck, and I'm going to make us some nice leftover pizza into pizza rolls and garlic bread.
Well, Bobby will present Dee Dee with handfuls of fresh produce.
Is that a whole banana?
It's a whole banana, baby.
My hero. So they will take it and wash it. It's like, I'm making banana Foster. I can use the crust. Wait, we have flour. I can make it from scratch.
You scratch food to make it?
Yes. So watch. And they'll
We're
scratch
raccoons.
the
We
dough.
scratch everything.
Yeah, but
So I'll make us some banana Foster since we have fresh
He'll
bananas.
also present you with the microwave.
oh,
Add
that's
to
right,
your
Ooh.
cooking appliances.
All right,
Oh.
do me a favor and just roll one die as you're trying to pull things out of your hoard.
Where was that 6 earlier?
And what is the number on that?
It's a
Oh,
6.
that was a 6?
Yes.
All right. So trying to pull the things out of the hoard. Anything you guys try to pull out, like you not only pull out what you got, but somehow it's better than what you got.
Yes.
So as you're pulling out like the food and stuff you guys collected, like the microwave, like it's a fancier microwave than you remember snatching, Jack. And
Convection oven.
yeah, just
Philips?
Yeah, I think it's the microwave Bobby thought he was taking as opposed to the one that they actually have. It's the high end one that you saw in a catalog.
oh,
once.
I think we have
Nice.
a hydrate check here.
Oh,
Thank you. So effectively, Dee Dee will go and grab their own little like dashy microwave and like kind of toss it outside for somebody else to use and like be like, oh, does anybody else want a microwave? And just like put it up and then like install the new one.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, for Hoard, if you're trying to retrieve something specific from it, you make a roll, and if it's a 1, it's kind of a useless or embarrassing thing you pull out. If you pull out a 2 or 3, it's not quite what you wanted, but it'll work with a little extra effort. If it's 4 or 5, you pull out exactly what you wanted, and if you roll a 6, then it's equivalent but better. And so I just had somebody roll once as we were pulling out for our pulling out from our Hoard here in this scene, and got a 6. So whatever got pulled out was equivalent but better.
all of the
Definitely
produce is organic and like super healthy.
And it's the best. It's like a whole bushel of grapes rather than just the stem.
Yeah,
Their
it's
Chinese
like
food,
and
from,
it's
a
all
fancy
like
place.
and like the potatoes don't have any of the nubbly little bits growing out of them. It's kind of weird.
So I'm not sure if those are right. Do those look right? And Dee Dee will just kind of pull out her phone and just scroll through. It's like, no, that's what they're supposed to look like.
Incredible.
They're just kind of taking stock of everything.
There's a whole kitchen's worth of supplies in there. That is just sort of now within your food truck that you can use to make whatever you'd like, or just wait for it to rot and then use it as trash, which we like anyway.
Very true. There is a certain flavor profile that comes with a squishy pear.
You gotta wait until they mature and have the right juices flowing off of them.
It's important for food.
It is.
Because right now these soft foods are too hard and these hard foods are too soft.
So they'll kind of stick their thumb into it. It's like, no, my thumb just barely presses into it. This isn't, no, it's not good. It's a stone right now. I would like to
Awesome.
just kind
So
of check.
you
the
guys
feed.
enjoy like an extravagant meal, like it's almost like you're people with your fancy fresh food. I mean, it does taste pretty awesomely delicious, besides the fact that it's fresh food, because Dell's character is an absolute wizard with food trucking and fast food. So they can just make pretty much anything they want with extreme quality.
Dining like the humans.
So
tonight,
after we
but
have the
better
meal,
manners.
that's right. So we'll just you guys have the meal and some chill time, and I'm just going to fill you on the aftermath of the chaos that you caused.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up the YouTube
so-
channel, essentially just like the live reel on like the TV that Bobby probably stole, and just be like, let's watch this while we eat.
So right off the first bit of interest to you probably would be that the SPCA is funding a whole testing and expanded like humane trap and release program for strays, for stray cats and dogs, and testing them for more diseases now. And the other big thing in the news is people are talking about the big food truck riot, as they're calling it in the news. And the way it's coming out and being spun is like the food truckers are like innocent victims, and people are like, the mayor is trying to unfairly use this for like his political purposes and stuff. And people are writing all kinds of opinion pieces about like what set people off, like what was the straw too far. But even as things cool down, people pretty much agree that they got to get rid of the mayor, and that they got to rethink about all these little fiddly requirements and regulations. People are kind of, as it's being normalized in the political discussion, it's being turned towards, oh, this is just obviously like an extortion scheme for him to get more permit money and more fines and stuff. Interestingly, people don't seem too upset by the violence that occurred. They seem more upset with the mayor. And when people do comment like, oh, it went too far, and that, like, oh man, if I saw somebody doing that to a raccoon or a cat in my neighborhood, I'd do so much worse to their house. And, pretty much like you would expect a normal internet comment section to go in a relatively small city about something this big. It does consume the news cycle for like the entire next week.
Yes. I need hashtag not my mayor to be trending.
And in some of the more conservative papers, like the more pro-mayor papers, there's like think pieces about how this is a whole setup job, and it talks about like the attack on the office and how there's obviously like a secret like Antifa conspiracy trying to take down the mayor, and the mayor would never do anything to hurt an animal like that. His wife has raised show dogs her whole life, and then that sets off like a whole separate like online fur about kennel dogs and the ethics of that, and it just blows back in their face.
Beautiful.
And so that's where you're at right now. They do not seem to have relocked the dumpsters. Just as sort of like a practical matter, like people feel like for whatever reason, like that's like the powder keg fuse. And so we're just going to leave it alone. That was the thing that set everything off. So we're just going to leave it alone. So your dumpsters are free again.
It was the final straw, but also the only straw.
A lot of hate directed at him. You have a whole bunch of shiny. Is there anything you would like to do with it? Is there any way you would like to double down? Is there something else you would like to explore?
I think distribute is the next step. Bobby always distributes what he steals. Finding poor areas and like.
Are you going to distribute? Okay, so you're going to like do some distribution to like poor people.
Maybe
the Robin Hood thing.
Yeah, replace their trash with like expensive necklaces. Like take the trash bags away and like just leave on top of the bins like expensive jewelry, and then move on to the next house and just leave some scatter it all around the poorer neighborhoods in the city. Offering first to his friends if there's anything that they would like to keep for themselves from his vast mayoral hoard. What he gives Dee all the fresh.
Yeah, I think Dell said that they were going to upgrade their kitchen with the wonderful Cuisinart and high-end kitchen supplies that you got. But you have all kinds of stuff.
To keep the,
oh my goodness,
the high-end microwave / convection oven, but everything else is fine.
Nice. The other three of you, would you like to assist Bobby in his Robin Hood quest, or is there something else you would like to do with your games or with the situation as you're facing it?
I'll let Liz
think
go first.
I think Diego wants to ensure there's no blowback. So I think he's going to actually lean in on the conservative papers whole, like, there's actually a conspiracy get to the mayor. I think he's going to print a kind of like gossip, like one of the like conspiracy mags, like taking it a step further than their theories, so that like now discussing their theories gets lumped in with like, you know, this really wild out there stuff. But what he's describing is actually pretty accurate to what happened. It's like, oh no, it really is like, no, it was a conspiracy. And actually the mayor's wife is really 3 raccoons in a trench coat at all times. She's trying to set up the mayor and like just really leading in and amping up what they're kind of trying to plant the seeds of, so that it just discredits what they're saying entirely.
Nice. Del?
I think I'm going to take Eat the Rich, Feed the Wildlife to the neighborhoods that kind of need it the most, and take the proceeds and like the proceeds and the produce that we got to those neighborhoods to kind of distribute like ready-made meals, as well as like for the people who don't have like time to cook, school lunches, things like that. Just kind of pre-packaged stuff for the people who want it, and then just kind of cook it yourself if you want to. Availability, just making those as like grab and go bags for the people to distribute that kind of wealth.
Nice. And Baba? I know you had a little life thing going on, so you muted. Just checking to see if you're back. Oh. All right, Baba is AFK at the moment. We will check in with her when she comes back. So Jack, would you go ahead and make a roll for me for your reverse thievery?
Absolutely. That's another 1 on stealth. 4 on action.
What was that on stealth?
Another 1.
Oh, a 1 on stealth and a clean on the action. Okay. Yeah, by the time you get towards the end of your run, one of those weird guys in suits seems like he's spotting you or following you, and there's a little bit of a furor in the neighborhood about people suddenly, you know, finding valuables in their house. Liz, you wanted to make a check for Diego to try to stir people up with a little bit of a gossip rag, and somebody granted you inspiration, so you have an additional +1 that you can add to either die after the roll.
Perfect. And will my like zine printing apply to this, since I am printing another basically newspaper for this? Oh wow, I'm gonna need all that. So a 3 on stealth and a 1 on effect. I think I'm gonna dump my 2 plus my inspiration 1 into the effect. So it's a 3 on stealth but a 4 on effect.
Awesome. So you bump up the 4 to effect, courtesy of the eye, and I believe that 2 granted inspiration. Let me double check to make sure I'm not shouting out the wrong person. Yes, the eye. Okay. And then I look in the chat and the eye was like, just somebody. So yeah,
the audacity.
I got that. The audacity. So there, I've shouted out the eye multiple times now. I hope that makes up for it. Yeah, some like a lot of the fur around your gossip rag is that something seems kind of off about this gossip racket, about this theory. And so people started kind of getting into weird conspiracy theory, like Ouroboros, like conspiracy theories eating themselves. But you do have a good effect. I've mentioned some of the weird guys in suits. You do notice one of the guys in suits taking like an a special notice in like your distribution points and stuff like that.
Noted.
And then Dell, would you like to give me a roll for making delicious, nutritious, happy food for people?
Absolutely. 1d6 or 2.
Roll both dice, and then you can add +3 as you wish across them. The first one is the stealth, and the second one is the effect.
That is a 5 and a 6.
Nice.
Roll
So
the 2,
you don't attract any. All right, so you don't draw any of the negative kind of attention. You fit perfectly in like a normal person giving out food. And it does, you rolled super well, so it does kind of soothe some of the rough edges around the negative attention that Jack and Liz attracted a bit. People get distracted by the warm food entering their belly. But they don't worry so much about, they're like, oh, whatever, the paper was good. And some people start turning it around into like, oh, our neighborhood has been blessed. Because everybody's finding magically more money, and like the corrupt mayor is being exposed, and everybody's got all this delicious food, and it's just, it's a good time now.
Can I have, along with the food, like a small little stand with Diego's tabloid on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which does increase its circulation more. As with your roll, the food giveaway is exceptionally popular. And people are just going off about all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories about the mayor. Like one of the ones that's catching on the most is that like the mayor is actually like ex-special forces, and he's like, he's just broken from everything he saw, and like he's got secret experiments inside him, and he's performing secret experiments on the animals for like this black ops thing, and that's why everything is so messed up, and why the town is like on such hard times, because he's diverting all the money to his weird like experiments.
I think that one's my favorite. I think that's the one that I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make that like one of the front page ones. The hashtag not my mayor. Take a picture. Highlight Bobby's little arrow on the side of my truck.
Nice. And so at the neighborhood you're in is over the next few days sort of like almost experiences a renaissance. Like some of the vacant signs go down as people like use the valuables that they had to put down payments on renting out a store and things like that. And just the mood seems very much lifted in the area. As for the rest of the town, it's very tense. The mayor is definitely on his way out. As you guys keep pushing things, more and more of the things he did are getting undone. Like the whole rat poisoning program has been like put on hold and is being reconsidered. And there's a bunch of human stuff you don't care, like stuff about property taxes or something.
No, unethical uses towards wildlife. That's what we're focusing on.
Nice. So one thing you do notice though is that where the food truck is, and it doesn't seem like they've found any of your dens or like the mall you use yet, but a lot of the areas generally you hang out a lot in, there's you're starting to see like a couple of those guys in like those weird suits.
Scare them off with the
They
cherry
don't
bomb.
seem to spot you specifically, but they do like seem to be particularly interested in raccoons.
I feel like we need to do something about all these figures mysteriously appearing in their suits.
Be a shame if they got rabies.
It would be a shame, but I'm not sure we should, increase our profile around them because they'll take more interest.
They're trying
Perhaps
to be
we should-
sneaky, right?
Yes. Perhaps
When
we should
we
go
ex-
further afield. Make trouble somewhere else, and so they go there instead of here.
Where else do horrible humans live?
I think everywhere, honestly.
I mean, outside of the obvious infestation of them, who are the ones who make the local the pound, the people who pick up just wild animals? Maybe.
Absolutely. And
One
I
of
feel
those
like we should
lab
just go and
factories.
deal with them anyway, especially if we're close to getting caught. Now is the time, if there ever was a time, to help our brothers in need.
We can go free them all.
We will go free them all.
And maybe we could do it in such a way that does not make it seem like we're doing it as raccoons, but throw them off the raccoon trail.
Can enlist the help of some of our animal friends.
That might be good. Maybe we do more plan and background work on this one, so that it seems like a more broad scale animal thing, and throw off the scent from raccoons specifically.
I like this idea. I know that the mascot has some wasp friends as well. I think if we make them obvious. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add that I'm good with opossums, squirrels, and pigeons. So that's a pretty good mix when we got in the wasp.
I'm friends with the crows. They like when I give them bottle caps.
I know some friendly foxes.
Got lots of
So how
animals
would you
to
like
let them off
to get your animal friends to behave to try to pull them off your trail? What kinds of things would you like them to do?
Maybe organize a collective raid on this pound we were talking about, where like all the animals seem to be acting on this one fixed point.
Yes, make it clear that all of the animals of the city are in league together from all over the city to fight this cause. And it's no specific area or species.
So to make it look like all the animals are it's not just raccoons, like all the animals are getting hyped up and unfriendly to people, essentially.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
because
we'll
you
kind
can't
of
monitor
try and
all
spread
the
the word.
animals.
So I would like all of you to make a roll for your talking to your animal friends.
The 5 and 5 for me.
Awesome.
Four stealth and 1, so I'm going to plus it up to 2. So it's not great, but 4 and 2 is the best I can do with my fox friends. I guess they are feeling timid.
I've
Yeah,
got-
urban environment. So just a couple of fox. I would say that we'll measure that by number. The effect that you only get a couple of them to participate. They're a little nervous about being seen too much out on the streets. And Dell, what was yours?
I've got a 2 and a 5.
All right. You very successfully attract a lot of animals. As they're sort of collecting and zooming towards places, like they do attract a bit of attention. Like the behavior seems kind of weird or unnatural to people. But altogether, collectively, like over a whole weekend, there's just a whole bunch of animal attacks. Like kids are playing like their soccer game out in the high school field, and just like 100 pigeons like in unison just take a big dump on them. And like in one neighborhood, there's like houses being broken into by squirrels. Like just people have all kinds of attic squirrel problems. And sort of towards the fringes of the burb, there's people complaining about a pair of foxes breaking into their trash and digging up their gardens. And excuse me. And then just a lot of people like in like downtown, just crows dive bombing them and stealing their lunches and snatching papers out of their hand. And like people go by like a statue that they normally eat lunch at, and like a murder of crows comes down and like pecks at them and chases them away. And yes, but altogether there's just animal chaos throughout the whole town for the weekend. And the dice say that with your bowls and everything, that you do successfully take some of those notice points off your track and throw them off your trail. They are investigating all kinds of animals, and after a week or so, it seems more or less like they give up because they're chasing so many dead ends that they're not getting anywhere. They don't know what their internal thinking is, so they may have noted it for later investigation. They may have brushed it off as false reports. But you are aware at this point that there definitely are people out there who know about smart animals and are trying to find you. Something to note for your future. And at this point, it seems like a natural wrapping up point. We've chastened off the people that were on our trail and protected our dens. We radically changed the political landscape of an entire small city. Totally destroyed a mayor's reputation for life. This guy is going to know no peace. And it was awesome. That was some excellent criming and excellent direct action, and it was so much fun to play with all of you. And again, we're here for Days of Tale 2. It's a stream event going on the entire weekend, 12 hours every day, today all the way through midnight Eastern. That's 4 a.m. GMT, 9 p.m. on the West Coast in North America. And it's going on as well on Saturday and Sunday, 12 hours from noon to midnight. Please join. Please give to NAMI. It's a wonderful cause. They do wonderful things for mental health. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Baba, who had some child issues and had to step away. She was wonderful. I loved playing with Baba. If the channel could please post her socials, and that would be great. And I just want to thank her for being here, and I'm sorry that she can't be here for wrap up, but I want to take that special effort to shout her out and say, oh my goodness, Granny Raccoon was amazing. Super fun character, and I'm glad she could join us. And then I'm going to throw it to Dell.
Oh, to me. Hello, I am Dell, Digital Crow. I got to play Dee Dee, or Dining with Detritus, tonight in this wonderful game for this wonderful cause. Rava was fantastic to not just like playing with you, but to be having you run a game for me. for all of us. And I appreciate everybody who donated and who came to join us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Liz.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you all for having me. This was a fantastic game. It was super fun to get to play with you all. I especially love when I get to play with new people I haven't gotten to play with before. And this game was super fun. I enjoyed playing Diego. I played many varieties of Diego across many different games and settings, and this was definitely one of my favorite ones. And I would just again like to plug this coming Wednesday, Life in the Apocalypse, Transhumanism. That game is really special to me, so please tune in if you do have the time. And keep watching Days of Tales. It's been great so far, and it's going to keep being good.
Awesome. And Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack. You can find me on Twitter at Jack_True. It's at JAK_True, all lowercase. Thank you so much for having me play this game with you all. It's great to meet everyone. Great to play with some new faces. Great to be on the stream. Thanks to the organizers. And yeah, make sure you, thanks to everyone who donates to the charity. Make sure you donate all you can. Like right now, it's a really great charity. And yeah, it was really great. Thanks for GMing, Rev. It's been great to meet you as well. And yeah, it's been great. And thank you again.
So once again, thank you to all my players. All 4 of you were incredible. This was such a fun session, and you just all rode the concept so hard, and it was beautiful and so much fun. And you were just so much fun to play with. I would love to play with any of you again. Absolutely. And so I'm Rev. I wrote this game. It's called Eat Trash Do Crime. You can find it on DriveThruRPG. I write a bunch of games for ThoughtPunks. You can find us on Twitter as ThoughtPunks. And I think that just about wraps it up. And so I'm going to throw it back over to Lion so he can give us an outro and set us up for the next event, which I believe will be the Index Card RPG run by Justina, who is my friend and one of my favorite people, and I love her, and it's going to be so much fun to watch.
Well, I thank you for that fantastic transition. Hi, y'all. I hope everyone really enjoyed this game because it was absolutely phenomenal and as chaotic as I expected. That's not true. It was more chaotic than I expected, and in every possible positive way. This is peak absurdity in all the best ways. Thank you to the amazing cast for being here for this. Thank you to everyone who donated throughout this game and throughout the day so far today. Thank you to everyone in chat for being so alive and keeping things going. I'm going to disappear for a little bit, tell these people how amazing they are again. Then we're going to go start setting up for our last game of the night, Index Card RPG, Bad Day on Galatine. So, we'll be back. I'll see you in a little bit. Stick around. You don't have to stick around right now. Go get some water, go take a walk, stretch out, get something to eat, grab a snack. Go tell other people about the amazing stuff that's going on here so they can hang out and they can join us and they can donate and all of the cool stuff. Hydrate, stretch, tweet. Yeah, Wilder's got all of this. Thank you so much. See you in a little bit.